I mean, I don't talk about my hair a whole lot, but you know, I cut it for the Taylor Swift thing because that was fun. And it's like really short at the back and then went down into and now it's all long enough to get into a bun. So that probably means it's time to cut my hair again. And that's actually cool because my hairstylist lives in my neighborhood. So it makes it super easy and convenient. And that has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with today's pour. It's just my life and my hair. And every once in a while, I don't know exactly what to say when I come and talk to you daily. So this is what you get today. I'm going to tell you all about the soap in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 258 of 365 days of soap, and we're making something kind of cool today. We are making a dish soap, which is cool, for a wholesale account that I've had with me for a while, which is also cool. But for her holiday dish soaps, she wanted them to be Starbucks cup red. My dish soap recipe, it's 100% coconut oil, and coconut oil is a very white oil, and so that's a big task to turn a very, very white oil into a very, very red, soap without using any sort of micas. So with this particular wholesale account, she does everything like 100% natural, and she decides that micas are not. And I agree with her. There are a lot of different and so we use things like clays and infusions and extracts and things. Red is a tough one. That's definitely a difficult one to get completely naturally using the clays and everything. And so I was a little bit nervous with this one. So let's go watch the pour and what I ultimately decided to color her soaps with, and you can tell me whether or not I did a good job. Okay, so this was actually a very interesting project to do. So those are the essential oils going into this. And this is the red blend going in to make a solid dish soap, the Starbucks red color, right? But using completely natural colorants. So what I have in this, in that red blend is tons of red clay, right? And then I also have alkanet, I have annatto, and I have madder root in there. And that's the soap nuts that are coming out of there to help with the soap scum and water spots and all of that on your dishes, which is awesome. So I strain that because I don't want the nuts themselves to end up in there, but it's a hot water, so it all just sort of pulls everything from the soap nuts. It's great. But yeah, so I was super stressing about this color because the thing is with this dish soap, it's a 100% coconut oil dish soap, right? That's all it's in it. And coconut oil is a very, very white oil. And it's really hard to turn something white red without it going pink when you're working with such a white base like coconut oil is. And especially when you're working with 100% no micas, no anything for this. And so I mixed together this formulation to do the thing and was super stressing about whether or not it would actually stay red in the pour and in the cure because, again, we're going for like a Starbucks red color, right? And so I mixed all of these things together, tons and tons of red clay and the annatto seed infusion and the madder root and it's all in oil right now, so there's a portion of the oils that have been reserved for all of this in order to do the thing. And I'm doing this, and actually, I kid you not, like 3 days after I had made these soaps, Auntie Clara posted on the Facebook page for Soap Makers Natural Ingredients, Facebook page, and she posted the most gorgeous, they were beautiful, like the most beautiful dark red soaps I had ever seen in my life. And like Auntie Clara in and of itself, like she does beautiful product photography anyway, right? And her soaps are always very, very simple in design, but absolutely stunning. And one of the reasons why they always look so stunning is because she super duper loves and is good at the photography piece. And so they're very striking visually. But for the actual color of these red soaps that she had posted, they were gorgeous. They were too dark. They were a beautiful like burgundy color, all naturally, colored. But like, I swear to God, 2-3 days after I'd made this soap, she posts this thing on the Natural Soap Ingredients forum, and tells us that she used ferrocrete to make the beautiful red color. And I was like, oh yeah, that totally would have worked. And I have 4 different things at play in all of this, trying to get a fun red, and I could have just used ferrocrete. Now, for those of you who don't know, actually ferrocrete's actually very difficult to find, because essentially what that is it's like a rock that then gets pulverized. It's like a red rock that then gets pulverized and can then be used for coloring whatever. And that's not something that you can just buy, right? Like Auntie Clara herself actually said in this post, I make this myself, so I don't really know where you would find it, when someone was asking about where to purchase the ferrocrete. But her soaps were gorgeous, and I was like, low-key, I'm not even low-key, just like jealous. And look at this. I'm talking about Auntie Clara and how she's good at all the things, and I just spilled all of that soap batter all up on my table. Like, I am a disaster, right? So people should not ask me to do things. But I'm doing this, and we're going to see if it goes red. But, let's pour it into the big giant containers right now, because we haven't actually talked about that. Yeah, so as I was just talking about Auntie Clara and how amazing she is and great at all the things or whatever, I didn't actually talk about why my bucket was so damn full of soap batter. Now, this is like how we normally soap, right? It's big giant batches at all times. It's not just the cute little, whatever that we do for the videos. The little whatevers, they're easier to film, but this is how we normally do this. And I didn't really have the time, because it's the holiday season and everything's nuts and all of the wholesale orders are whatever, to film just one little thing. And so this is what we have. And so that's why the bucket was so big before and so full of stuff before. And I am pouring, I think 3 is all I actually have on camera, because I think that's all it'll fit. But I think this batch actually did 4 of these long loaves for this. But yeah, so it's a lot of soap that comes from this, which is cool, because I have said, I'm sure, on the channel before, it is just as easy to make oh, I don't know, how much would this make for regular soaps? Like 100 bars. It is just as easy to make 100 bars as it is to make a dozen bars. It's basically the exact same amount of time spent. So, but this is just what it looks like. It's not nearly as pretty and as, filmable as you get from a, little batch or whatever. But yeah, this is the real thing in the shop, and it's, what we do every day. So the whole point of this thing was to, film a day in the life, or a piece of a day in the life, for 365 days. And this one, I did not have time to just film a little batch. And also the way that these are cut, it makes it kind of tough to film just a little batch, because you actually end up getting less from that little batch than you do. Whatever. It's all a thing. And yeah, so this is definitely going to be put in the oven, even though 100% coconut oil soaps can definitely heat up really quickly, and they definitely run the risk of cracking. I still want to put in the oven to get some heat to it to try to get that red as possible before we cut it, because again, as it continues to firm up, it will go whiter, and I need it to look like a Starbucks red cup, really. So let's go check that out. And onto the cut, and look at that. Look how pretty that red is. It looks so nice. This is the reason why I had to pop it to get a lot of heat to it, so that red would stand a fighting chance. And you know, unfortunately, especially with, you know, solid coconut oil soaps, they get very well, they'll crack, they'll overheat really quickly, probably more quickly than any other soap that I've ever worked with. And so the potential for cracking is very good with a coconut oil soap, but that's okay. Because A, these are dish blocks that are meant to be rustic and awesome, but two, planers exist for a reason. So you do the thing, and you just plane off the pieces that, you know, cracked and did the thing. Also, if you catch them in time, because this soap was cut 5 hours after it was made. So I told Georgia May as I was leaving the shop, set a timer for 5 hours from now, cut the soap at that time, and if you catch it early enough, it's soft enough, you can actually press that back down into the mold and sort of clean up that little edge on coconut oil soaps. And so that's cool. I didn't tell her to do that. That's more of like a 3 hours in process, and then you can make the thing make sense and eliminate that cracking. But you know, this was again 6 hours in that it got cut, so it already cracked. But again, completely fine, because you just plane off the tops and everything's great. And then you have all kinds of cool soap scraps, which is actually what I use for my dish blocks. So we plane all of the dish soap blocks for all of the customers that get these right now. I have a lot of wholesale accounts that do the dish soap blocks for sure, and I actually roll all of those into a big ball, and that is my dish soap at home, is all of the scraps. And I actually love that. I like being able to use every little piece. And you know, my family, they don't do the dishes, so they don't need a proper brick. But these dish soap blocks are actually really cool because very little effort. You just take a little scrubby to them or a washcloth, big bubble right off the bat, beautiful bubble. Helps out with things like no water spots and things. It also has a natural like degreaser quality to it with the soap nuts, and yeah, it's all awesome. But this is for these purposes, this is the same recipe that I always use for this wholesale account, but she wanted a Starbucks red soap, and she wanted it done with completely natural colorants. So, I mean, mission accomplished. It did the thing. That's I love that. I'm so glad that that worked out, and I'm still like irritated that Auntie Clara had such a better idea than putting in 5 different types of things. Oh, just use Ferrocrete. Just do the thing. Yeah. But that's why Auntie Clara is better than everyone, and I'm not. So there it is. That's day 256, the red dish soaps, and I love how Georgia May is just continuing to play with those. Oh, and that one's gonna slip. It's totally beautiful. It's absolutely like a red Starbucks cup red. I love that. But when I saw Auntie Clara's post on, you know, the natural soap making forum, and she just used this one thing for hers to make this beautiful red, I went, good job, Auntie Clara. This is why Auntie Clara is like great at all of the things, right? And I will just continue to stan her forever. But yeah, those are the red dish soaps for a dropintheoceanshop.com's holiday line. So if you're interested in picking up one of these guys, scented with peppermint, it's very delightful. You can find it at a dropintheoceanshop.com. You cannot find it on my website. If you are interested in more soapy antics, subscribe to the channel, do the thing, click the button. That would be awesome. It's, you know, the season of giving, and you can give me a click, and it helps me in big ways, and you don't even remember that you did it. So that would be cool. Except remember that you did it and come back and watch, because I like interacting with the peoples. So yes, for those of you who have remembered that you clicked that button and you come back to watch, hey, thank you. I like interacting with the peoples. I've had a really good time over the last 258 days conversing with you guys in the comments and all the DMs that you guys send me and all the social media stuff. And so It's been fun helping you out with your soaping recipes, talking about life and love and geekdom and all the things. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me for another round of 365 days of soap. That is it for me today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.